Hi Floss Tube, it's Diane. There it goes. I have my earbuds in so you can hear me a little better. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here a while, thank you for coming back. I just got back from StitchCon. Today is Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. I got back on Sunday, so 2 days ago. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Let me move this just a shade. There we go. I would do it in a heartbeat. I had so much fun, met so many new people, reintroduced myself, reacquainted myself with people I had met before. Let's see, does that work better? There, that's a little better. Yeah, it was so much fun. And it felt so good just to go and, yeah, I knew I wouldn't be stitching very much. I said, oh, maybe 20%, but no, I doubt I even stitched 20% of what I thought I would stitch. So I thought I'd walk through what I received and my experience. So if you're nervous about going to StitchCon or any stitching retreat, hopefully you'll get some good information. I went to StitchCon B, otherwise known, aka the Cicada Tornado StitchCon. I arrived on Wednesday night, or Wednesday afternoon. My friends who I met 5 years ago, all of us were going to be there, and 4 of us arrived at the airport like within an hour's time. So we all drove from the airport to Cincinnati together. We went to eat because none of us had really eaten a substantial meal, and met up with the 5th of our group. And then we went to the hotel because we were all staying at the same hotel. Can I just say we're all in agreement we're never staying at that hotel again? Just one thing after another. I'm not going to name the hotel, but that's my biggest con of StitchCon. Everything else was good. Well, there's one restaurant. I'm never eating there again. But beyond that, the whole experience was fun. We got there. Okay. We get to the hotel at 2:53 p.m. Check-in time is 3. So 5 of us are standing there. They were going to make us wait the 7 minutes. Mind you, our rooms were ready. And I'm like, are you kidding me? 7 minutes? I have had hotels, if I arrive early, I call and they say, hey, your room's ready, might as well come on over. 7 minutes. But we got in. I had my own room. My husband, because I had thought of getting a roommate, and my husband said, no. You deserve to have your own room and your own bathroom that you don't have to clean. So that's what I had. And then we settled in a little bit, and then we went to Keepsakes. And so I have Hall. And then we went out to dinner at Vincenzo's. We posted the picture online. That was really good food. And if you have to be gluten-free like I do, they have a section of, I don't know if it's 6 or 8 different options that they can serve, and they have up there that you can request gluten-free pasta for any in this section. And so I did. I don't remember the name of the dish I had. It was good, but I don't remember the name. The only ding I would say is the thing I didn't like. I don't like cooked carrots, and there were too many cooked carrots in it. But beyond that, it was good. It was good, kind of a oil vinaigrette type of sauce. So it wasn't a really heavy sauce, and it filled the. It was good. It's what I needed. Then we went back to the hotel, and then we stitched in their room. They had a room, where the bedroom is separate from the living area. So we all stitched in the living area until, I don't remember, 1, 2 in the morning, something like that. Went back to my hotel room. Brush teeth, wash face, that stuff. And then I woke up in the middle of the night. It was just so hot in my room. And the AC had kicked off. So I had to go turn the AC on because it's like 75 in my room, and I don't sleep well when it's that hot. So I had to turn that on. That helped a lot. Also, my hotel room was near the highway, and I could swear that traffic was going through my room. And I like, you know, a relatively quiet room, but I have 14 children, so, you know, quiet is, again, relative. But my kids sleep hard at night, so, you know, that's quiet time. So what I did when the AC wasn't on is I, on my phone, on YouTube, found a, you know, soothing sounds to relax by or something like that. And just kind of looped it through. So when the AC wasn't on, then I was listening to that, and that helped a lot. And then the idiot who had the room before me, you know, as a prank for the next guest, set the stupid alarm clock. I knew I should have unplugged that thing because I like a dark room, and I just threw a washcloth over it. And it went off at like 5 in the morning or something, or maybe even before 5 in the morning. And I'm like, really? I don't use an alarm clock anymore. I use my phone. My phone right there is my alarm clock. So I had that. And I tried to go back to sleep. I was able to sleep probably another hour or so. And then I was laying there 7-ish, 7:30-ish, somewhere in there. And I thought, you know, Diane, just get up. Why not? I thought I could get up and just kind of, you know, take a shower, mosey on down to the breakfast, which when I asked about breakfast, I was told that it was a decent breakfast. There would be gluten-free options. First, I get in the shower and I have no hot water. And I thought, what in the world is going on? And I let it run for like 5-10 minutes. Nothing. It was cold. I'm like doing this little number to get it warm. It reminded me of college and the dorm. Sometimes you had to let the water run forever before any hot water came there. I had none. And I'm one that when I arrive at a place, I like to take a shower the next morning, just kind of, you know, wipe the dust away type of thing. That didn't happen. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I went down and got breakfast. Breakfast consisted of these disgusting looking bagels and English muffins that were individually wrapped. I think there might have been a toaster, but there was no like cream cheese and peanut butter or anything you'd want to put on them. Then they had a tray of instant oatmeal and no hot water and no microwave down there to cook your instant oatmeal. So you're supposed to take it back to your room. I'm like, if I have to make breakfast in my room, I'm going to go to the grocery store and I'm going to get what I want. And I thought, okay, Diane, you could do a fruit split. Banana, because they had a banana, and yogurt and cereal. That disgusting yogurt. I like plain Greek yogurt, or just plain yogurt. I'll do like a vanilla, or for a snack I'll do a Greek yogurt. There's a couple good brands in my area, and I'll do those, but I don't know what that brand was, but I thought, okay, the cereal will cover the taste. So I'm looking at the cereals. All of the cereals have wheat in them. And I asked her, I said, do you have any Cheerios? Because basic Cheerios have no wheat. And she tells me the dumbest thing I have ever heard a hotel tell me. No, we can't carry Cheerios. We only carry Kellogg's. And Cheerios are made by General Mills. What? Cheerios have been around forever. I mean, the toddlers, you give toddlers Cheerios when they're ready. That's just stupid. And this woman gave me attitude, and I was not in the mood for it. I was tired because I hadn't slept well because of the traffic, and plus the room was too hot. And then I got woke up by that stupid alarm clock, which was unplugged the next night. Because I thought, what if I didn't hit the right button to totally cancel it? Like, now I canceled it. And then I had no hot water for a shower, and now this pitiful breakfast. Now, when I worked at a hotel years ago, a continental breakfast was juice, coffee, tea, hot tea, like donuts or rolls or something like that. There was nothing like that here. Even though I couldn't eat it, there was nothing like that there. And I thought, seriously? How gross. And so I waited for my friends because we were all going over to the convention center together, and we did. We got there early. And then This hotel also had some kind of soccer tournament. So kids were running up and down the halls at 10:30, 11:30, 12:30 at night. We're talking 8, 9, 10-year-old kids. They don't need to be up that late. I mean, once in a while at your house. But, And when I say they were running, and in the lobby they were running all over. You couldn't find a quiet spot. And I'm like, seriously? I know that they spent money there, but I spent money there. Where are my rights here? Anyway, my friends would all say the same thing. They felt the same way. And then we could get into StitchCon at noon, and we did that. Found our table, kind of got the lay of the land. Where were things, and we got the itinerary, so we know when we needed to be there, and all that stuff. StitchCon, they didn't have like 10 o'clock we're doing this, 11 o'clock we're doing this, 12 o'clock we're doing this. It's not regimented like that because there's no teaching classes or anything. But they say, okay, we're going to do some door prizes at this time. We're going to open this at this time. So there are a few things, but you really have a lot of flexibility in your day. I like that. And then we went out to lunch. And then went to the Cock and the Bull Bar and Grill. That is pretty close to the convention center. And there was a quilt shop there. Oh, I was going to grab that. Hold, please. Okay. The quilt shop is called Stitches N, as in the letter N, Such. And this is what I picked up. I picked up this fabric. It has words like focus on the good, find joy in the simple things, create a beautiful life, gather happy moments, those kind of sayings. And I thought this would be really cute. Inside of a project bag, you know, you open it up and, oh, you know, that type of saying. Plus they had this Christmas fabric with the cardinals and the trees. And I'm going to pair that with this one for a project bag. And I'm stingy on my fabric, so I could probably get at least 2, if not 3 project bags out of 2 half-yard cuts. I figured out how to do that. And I want to make a king-size quilt for my husband and my bed. And I want to do it blue as the main. It's called Geese and the Lilies is the pattern. And there's flowers, and blue is going to be the flowers. The background, they showed it on white. I don't want white, but I want a light background. And so I need 6 half-yard cuts, so I found this blue with dragonflies because I love dragonflies. And then I found these 2 blues here, all boutiques. This one and this one. So started to collect fabric for that. And then they had this beautiful fabric. So I got a whole yard of this. This is going to go into project bags for sure. But it was a cute shop. The lady there was so nice. Then we went back to the hotel. And I had mentioned last video that I told my husband not to do a 50th birthday party. Unbeknownst to me, he had already contacted my friends. So I went to their room, and they had streamers and balloons and cake. One of the ladies, she is a wonderful baker. And so she made me a gluten-free angel food cake and 7-minute icing. So good. And the other lady said that she made a rum cake also, so they said that was really good too, and it looked fabulous. So yeah, he got me. And I took the balloons from there. I took them back to the convention center. And I have 5.5 months now to plan for his birthday. Yeah, I'm thinking, I'll have to start thinking of stuff. Then we stitched in the stitching room, and they opened the annex that night that you can preview what their trunk shows were. You couldn't purchase anything, but you could see. And it was really nice. It was a nice, and they did it like, okay, these 5 tables, you go for 15 minutes or whatever it was, and then that way they controlled the number of people in there. But what I liked about that idea is you really had time to look at the models and look at the other items that were in the room, I really appreciated that they did it that way. And I think I know they initially did it for COVID reasons, but if when they open the annex for StitchCon 2022, I think they should still keep that preview time, that okay, these tables go, and when they're done, then these tables go. I really liked how they did that, and I don't feel anybody was slighted or anything if they had a table with a later number, because you couldn't buy anything, you could only look. And I really thought that was a good way to do that. The air conditioning went out in the convention center, and it got pretty hot in there. We had 225 people attend StitchCon B. Stephanie said 40 more people attended StitchCon A, so 265 at StitchCon A. And they always, when I watched a few of their posts, I tried to stay away because I didn't want any surprises spoiled unintentionally. And I do remember people saying it was cold. So all of us were prepared for the room to be cold, and it was hot. And the AC just went out. And with the environmental services, they fixed it. They worked diligently till it was fixed. I don't know how late it took. The cicadas, their dead carcasses, got into the filtration system and broke the AC. So, okay, it's the cicada StitchCon. Okay, so go back to the hotel. Yes, I had hot water, took a shower, tried to sleep that night. I think I slept better that night. I know my AC was working for sure. I double checked on that. Got up the next morning because we had agreed we're going to go to breakfast. We were not going to worry about the hotel stuff. And one of the employees at the hotel just gave me so much attitude, and I thought, woman, I am so not in the mood for this morning. I can be a calm person, let things go by. I do that a lot, but there are times where I am hangry, and I will say at this hotel, you didn't stick to the floor. I mean, they kept it clean in that respect, and I did appreciate that. But then we went out to breakfast, and then we ended up back at this convention center, and I did make some purchases, and I'll show those because honestly, I know some things I bought at the shop, and some things I bought at the convention center, and then there's some things I'm not sure. So I'll just do that in one chunk. But then on Friday, they had the Red Chip Smalls Exchange, and I did participate, and I'm going to put a video clip either here. If that didn't work, I'm going to put it at the end. And if I might have to break this into 2 videos, so don't be surprised if I have to do that, because my program, there's a limit on how many minutes, so it might be broke. I'm going to try not to do that, but I'll put it either here or at the end of the smalls that I did make for the exchange. One was for the StitchCon smalls, and one was for an exchange between my friends and I. And for that one, I stitched Abby Rose Designs Christmas Time, and you'll see it in that video. I stitched that. I will say, I went to the airport, and I made sure not to have any metal beyond my glasses, my watch, and my rings. So I took the necessary precautions. No sequins, no metallic threads, because I've had the unfortunate experience of getting, the special treatment because of those items. I didn't even take off my shoes. I went through the metal detector, and I was good, and I thought, oh, that was really good. Until the guy goes, okay, whose bag is this? And I'm like, oh, great, it's my bag. What's in there? And I'm thinking, what in the world's in there? So my hand sanitizer set it off. It's a 3-ounce thing. I don't know why it set it off. I had a candy bar in there in my purse. And that set it off. And then I had my clear Stitchville bag. And I'm sorry, I have a piece of tape on my hand that came out of nowhere. And I had stuck my project bags in there, thinking, then security can go, oh, nothing's in there. Oh, and my empty water bottle. Reusable water bottle, this guy, and all that's full of water now. And he picks up the gift bag for my friend, and I had a reusable coffee cup, like from a coffee shop with a lid and everything. And it had a beach theme on it, and I thought she'd like it, and she did, because she drinks coffee. And then he holds up her small. Her small is about this big, and you'll see it in the video. I stuffed it with walnut shells, and their scanner couldn't go through because it was solid. So they have a square, solid, rectangular thing, and they don't know what it is. That's what flagged my bag, and I had to laugh. I thought, of all the things, but I didn't want to check that, because I thought, oh, what if it, squished and all over my clothes? Yeah. So I still had to talk to security, because I am, such a dangerous woman that I am. But I got to my flight. Something broke on the plane, and they're like, well, you can wait 2 hours, or we can get you another plane. I'm like, get us another plane, and they did. I think we took off maybe 10 minutes later than we were supposed to, and we arrived in Cincinnati 5 minutes earlier. I don't know how that happens, but it was a smooth flight. And you're going to see that small. Well, the small that I received is this one. This one is a Lizzie Kate. My friend couldn't remember the exact name of the pattern, but it's a Lizzie Kate. I love the little cute button. And she did a flat fold, or not, I guess a flat finish is what I mean, hard finish, in the little pom-pom trim, and put a ribbon up here to hang, and a bow, and a antiqued bell. So this is gonna probably hang on my cross-stitch pegboard until Christmas, because my Christmas stuff is up, and I have a special box for this type of thing. We have special ornaments received from people, or ornaments that I make for people, like my children, and this will go into that box. But I don't have access to it right now. Well, not easy, and I'm not gonna worry about it right now. And for the red, if you had a small, they had you draw a chip, and I had a red one, and there were 3 times that the exchanges were made, and that way, again, they could control the number of people involved. And I mean, there's still a sizable group. I think there were, like, one of the times there were 70 ornaments involved, and another time 100 or something like that. And if you had, I'm assuming that if you had more than one small, you could draw more than one chip, or what have you. But I drew a red one, so that was the first smalls exchange. So anyone else who drew a red chip was in that. And again, you'll see the ornament that I gave my small, which was 7th, Cottage Garden Samplings, 12 Days of Christmas, and it was 7 Swans of Swimming. And I finished it using a technique from Kathy Haberman from the retreat, and the person that received mine, and I'm blanking on her name. I've been trying to remember her name for the last 2 days. She really liked it. She even said, okay, what series is this? And I had written it down, and she said, oh, great. She said, oh, I gotta go buy the other 11 days. So she really liked it, and I was so nervous. My packing, though, I should have done better on my packaging. I had it in a nice, sack, like one of these, except it was just plain brown, but it was checked, and it got, so it looked like it was beat up. So it got all beat up, and I felt bad. I should have bought another one. If I'd have been thinking about it, I would have bought another bag and just transferred it over. I also gifted her some cooking utensils, some bamboo cooking utensils at my store, and they're colored. So the ones I gave to her were some different shades of blue and teal, and it kind of, how you have the wood grain, and different sections were colored different colors, and I thought they were really cool. They're all sealed, and they are heat resistant up to 450 degrees, and I have one upstairs. I haven't tried it yet, but yeah, I thought those were cool. I liked them, and I thought, well, Christmas, you cook things, and she liked them too. She thought they were pretty cool. What did I receive? I picked one that had 3 boxes, and it was patriotic. Marine Mom here. these were done by a lovely lady named Carol. And this was in the small bag. And this is called Cracker Corn by Vicki Hastings, Cricket Collection number 231. And she stuck this little guy in there so I can know exactly what the pattern was. Isn't that cute? So it's a paper mache box, and she put a scrap paper here. So she painted it on the inside also, and then she put fabric back here. And then these are upholstery tacks, and she said she cut off the little pointed end and then glued them on with probably, you know, an E6000 type of glue. But I think that's just gorgeous. And then she had a medium package, which had this piece in it. I've already done this video once, so I'm mixed up the labels a little bit. This is called Itty Bitty America by Ruth Sparrow of Twisted Threads. And I just don't want to give out her personal information. So there you go, in case you would like to do this design. Again, it's another paper mache box that she painted and did the upholstery tacks. Scrap paper on the bottom. Here on the edge is 2 ribbons. It's one narrow ribbon, just 2 layers, and then she took twine around and then stuck these little wooden stars and some buttons on the twine. And I think that's so cute. And here's how the inside is. So she did a fabulous job. I gotta up my game next year. Let's see, this one goes here. It's going to go into my patriotic display, so I don't want to lose those to tell me what the pattern is. And then the bigger one was this guy. This guy is called Patriotic Heart, and it is designed by Sam Hopkins. It's from the book 501 Cross Stitch Designs, and here it is. So again, a paper mache box, the upholstery tacks. And then this guy is a hoop. She painted the hoop. Here's fabric here behind the stitching. And then where you have the screw, she wrapped twine there and then stuck a charm. And I think it's just beautifully done. Beautifully done. So yes, her name's Carol, and we've been emailing back and forth already. So a new lifelong friend. So that's what I received from the Smalls Exchange. Oh, also she included another hoop. I don't normally use hoops, but I have plans for this because I do use hoops for silk gauze, and I have plans that I will need this to get the right tension in my stitching. So hoops are handy. Even if you mostly stitch in hand, chances are you have a few hoops or projects that require hoops. From one of my friends that I had met up with, that I had met in 2016, she gifted us a bag. Her mom is 92, and so they made these little corner gauges. So if you put it, let's say this is your fabric and you want to start in the corner. So you line this up with your fabric corner. If you stick your needle here, that's 1 inch by 1 inch. Here, that's 2 inches by 2 inches. And on this corner, it's 3 inches by 3 inches, depending on how much margin you want. On an ornament you're making into a pillow, 1 inch probably is good. I like it more 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Well, it depends on the project, but so corner gauge. I received a StitchCon pin from StitchCon itself. Some of these peels, which I wanted to try but haven't tried yet. And then some lotion. This is safer under stitching. If you've ever wondered, this is safer under stitching. And then the bag. I was just sitting here quiet, innocent, and behaving. Then I met y'all. And you're the she to my shenanigans. So that was a really cute gift. She also gave us a bottle of water. Because again, it got really hot. And these floss tags and a ring. This is made by Vicky from Stitch N Button. So she had ordered those for us, and she had also gifted us just an extra baggie. So in case you needed an extra baggie over the weekend. And then Jan Calvert, the finisher at Keepsakes, she handed out her business card and some candy. And then another one of the friends that I met, she gifted us some more floss tags from Vicky, and they didn't know. Nobody, they didn't know that they were giving each other. And one of these. I have thought of purchasing one of these. These are the floss measurers or floss winders or floss cutters, however you want to word it. I haven't used it. I've seen several people, including Laura, Brendan, the Zero Starter, Laura, where you hold the leg of the DMC and then you start wrapping the entire skein, and then you cut it here. You cut it here, yeah, and then they're all the same length. So yeah, I'm going to be using that handy tool. This was another gift that Carol had given to me, who gave me the smalls. It's a piece of linen country French rain, 32 count. So I'll be using that. And she also gifted me, I don't have it here, these little feet for an easel. So essentially I could take this hoop, this lid, and stick it in there and display it. Or I have a collection of teacups and saucers from my great-grandmother. So I could have the saucer and then just set the cup in front of it. It's safe. I might have already taken it upstairs actually, because this is the second time I'm doing this video. And I like to collect keychains when I'm at places, when I travel, because first of all, they're easy to find usually. They're a nice little souvenir, and I like to make key fobs out of them. Or, sorry, scissor fobs out of them, like this one. This one's from San Antonio. I like these ones that spin. I don't know why. I just like the ones that spin. And then I had another one around here that was from Bear Country. So I found this one at the airport that says Ohio. And then it spins. It has some things that represent Ohio. But I also, from the friend that had the floss winder, she gifted us these makeup bags. They're quilted. This is the one I received. She randomly handed them to us, and this was perfect for me. And StitchCon, we were gifted another key fob, scissor fob. I have it out here on the zipper at the moment. I don't have a huge collection of scissors, and a friend gifted me a pair of scissors so I could put it on that one. That would work. I could just put it right here on this one, and then I have another scissor fob. What I've just noticed is with my project bags, if I throw a pair of scissors in there and throw a scissor fob on it, it's a little heavier, and it just makes it easier to find my scissors when I need it. And then a pair of tweezers, so when you pull out your fibers, which we all have to do, this can get in there and get the really fine itty bitty bits. We were also, you could pull some patterns you're interested in buying in the annex, and you could put them aside. They had kind of a coach check. So if you're thinking about it or you wanted to add to it, and then if you did that, then there was a basket with some freebies, and this is what I chose, which is a thread keep. So you can put floss tags on here if you want, and then this can just, somebody said it was floss jewelry. That's what it. And this is from your California friends, Donna White and Diana Lewis. And I just thought that was so cute. So that's what I chose. And there were a lot of people handing out needle minders. I don't normally use needle minders on my project per se, but I do like to have them, especially if I'm using my magnet board for patterns. They're so handy. And so I can't remember, she didn't even tell us her name, but she was handing them out, and these look like little ice cubes. And this one, even though it's so thick, it holds the needle really well. It really does. I mean, you could turn it like this and it will hold the needle. She put a really good magnet on there. So that's one. Annette from Annette's Acres was there, and I met her and chatted with her table. And these magnets, they're all sticking together. And so she handed out this, which if you've watched any of her videos, you know that her husband sometimes plays guitar in the background. And so, and I have a number of boys who play guitar. So that was pretty cool. And then Brenda from Handiwork Maniac, these little tiles, and I chose a turtle because I like turtles. And a lady who was sitting at Annette's table, she had all of the, she had all of the reindeer, Nora Corbett reindeer, the Christmas reindeer done. She had all 9 done, and she was working on the sleigh. And this is the lovely one that I chose. It has peacock feathers. And then another lady was walking around, and I chose this rose needle minder. And another lady was walking around named Lynn, and she was handing out these, and these are clay, and she actually throws the clay and makes these herself. And it's greenish. I don't know if it's coming across or not, but it's beautiful. She was talking about going to Kroger and having just clay dirt all over her shirt and her face because she had forgot something last minute and didn't bother to change, and they're kind of looking at her like, what are you doing, woman? And then my friend who gifted the floss winder also gifted Tigger. He's my favorite Disney character. And then this is a new needle minder maker if you're looking for one. Her name is Vanessa Lee. And I'm going to put her information below, and she handed out these lovely ones, butterfly cross stitch. So I will put links, as many links as I possibly can below. Please give me a day or two to do that. And if I forget something or someone, just gently remind me. But what did I stitch? I actually stitched. I honestly, truly, actually stitched at StitchCon. Really. I worked on Anne Morison. I'm to the eyelet alphabet, which is this one right here. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to focus on the eyelets. But what I did instead is there's that straight border down the sides. It's just one, it's a single X. Oh, I don't want to lose my silk. Is that silk? Put that in my bag and let's see. I'll figure out later. My Anne Morison is being stitched on 40 count Havana by Weeks Dye Works. I know in the past I've said I don't like Weeks Dye Works. I don't like the lower counts. It's like a limp dish rag. I have not tried the new Zweigart base, so I don't know. But my previous experience, I know. The higher counts I do like on certain projects, and I like it on this one. So I extended this single border and that single border there, because I think they were way up here, and that way you could talk and you just single X, single X, single X. And there you go. I'm using the AVAS 100.3 silks, the ones on the spools, except there were a few colors that my L&S did not have, so I'm just using AVAS 1 strand over 2 threads for those. So I did have a little progress. I got to work on this one this month because it's on my WhipGo board to get 2 sections done, and I haven't even gotten one done this particular month. When I went to keepsakes, I kitted up most of cardinal points. I had some of the floss, and they were out of some of the floss, like 3 colors, but I can get those in my L&S. But that is what I wanted to kit up when I went to StitchCon, is I wanted to kit up cardinal points. I had a new start. This is a Blackbird design from their Sweet Land of Liberty book. It's the only one that's not on the cover. And it's called Liberty Rose. Right here. And so I'm going to use 2 pieces of linen. This is going to be the bird, vintage beeswax, and this one, Park City Blend, is going to be the flower. They call for the same 3 threads, and I started down here on the flower, right in here. So not a huge start, but it counts. It is a start nonetheless. And then if I stitch on Blackbird Weekend, which is in 2 weeks, I think, then that's the one I'll stitch on. The one that has my interest the most out of all of my pieces at the moment is this one, Teresa Kogut, Land That I Love. And they had the model there, which inspired me even more. I'm stitching on 40 count cream and sugar by Fiber On A Whim. I know I said that I used all the called for colors. That's not 100% true. One of the colors blended in with my fabric bar. They're playing Xbox. That's why they're squealing in delight. One of the colors blended into my fabric too much, so I had to change it. And here's where I'm at. Other than that, I'm using the called for colors. So it is this light color that's supposed to be DMC 712, I believe. That just blended in. I mean, I stitched this whole thing and you couldn't see it even in person. So I got an over dyed and I changed it to Classic Colorworks Ginger Snaps. So it has a little more tannish feel to it, more antique-y feel to it. But it works very well with all the other colors because I pulled all of the light white DMCs. I pulled all my other light white from over dyes, and this is the one that just, it works with the other colors very well. So when I get more into here, like the eagle, this is his wing, so his head is in this color, I think it'll look really nice. My kids had to do standardized testing because homeschoolers in the state of Minnesota were not excused from standardized testing, even though public school and private schoolers were in many districts. So we had to go do that. So I was sitting there for 4 hours and I worked on this motif. I had this part done, but I worked here and here and some red and just stitched. And when it's a one-on-one test, so when I had 3 students testing, and when one student tested, then I kept the others busy. And then tomorrow I will be testing. I have 3 more students that have to have a standardized test by state law. And I can administer those tests. I'm an approved tester for the Iowa and the Stanford. I've gone through what I need to. I just haven't for the Peabody. And then for Come to My Garden, I found this beautiful piece of fabric at Keepsakes the first day, and it's Affogato by Fiber On A Whim, 40 count. Oops, sorry. See the pattern. And they had this model there too. So I think that'll look just beautiful. I have, I think, all the colors but one that Keepsakes was out of. But again, I'm not starting that one like tomorrow, so I'm okay on that. My friends gifted me, what gift did I get to Keepsakes? And their generosity, I've been going back and forth and back and forth. And because of their generosity, I've had this pattern, made these lines a relic prove. I was able to kit it up in the NPIs. I've never used NPIs, so that will be something new for me. And it's going to be stitched on 40 count raw. Those colors, when I laid them out, yeah. And I like samplers on raw or flax linen. I don't know, it appeals to my eye. So this one, because they gifted me the flosses for my birthday gift, for my 50th birthday gift, I am going to start this one on my birthday, which is July 21st. And you are welcome to join me if you have this pattern, and or any pattern by Kathleen Littleton of Cross Stitch Antiques. She is also a mom of 14. So we have that connection. Yes, we have emailed and corresponded back and forth. So if you have a pattern from Cross Stitch Antiques, she has many beautiful patterns, and you want to start it, consider starting it on July 21st, 2021. And I'll have to come up with a hashtag, I suppose. 50 in 2021, or turning 50 in 2021. Something like that. There was a person, she was sharing some of her late grandmother's stash, and she had this 28 count. It's probably an ivory. When I was looking at this, because of this particular, I don't have a clue what brand it is. It has to be Zweigart because it's got the oil, it has the orange thread on one of the pieces. I had purchased Fragments in Time number 1, 2, 3, and 4 after Expo, and she released 5 this one and 6 this one. And looking at this, I thought, you know, that's kind of like silk gauze a little bit, how it's open. So my plan is to try to stitch these using this hoop from Carol, 1/1 using the Continental tent stitch, and I'm going to see if it works. I like stitching on silk gauze. Linda Stoltz kind of walked us through in my retreat last year, and I'm going to try that with these. So there's going to be 2 more, and I have the other 4. I know they're in here, but I didn't pull them out. I also have 2018s, and I'm going to stitch those too. And again, I tend to like really big projects, so it's kind of nice to have some smalls to break that up. I also picked up some freebies at Keepsakes, which I'm going to just set aside, and you have to get them from them. So what did I purchase? So I purchased Mariner's Drum by Plum Street Samplers. They had this as a sample at Keepsakes, and to be honest, if I hadn't seen the sample, I don't think I'd ever pick this up, because drums scare me. They do. But you have the ship here on top. You have the mermaid, and it says something like, mermaids have no combs. They comb their hair with codfish bones or something like that. But then this is also on the bottom here, this compass. And even if I didn't do it as a drum, those would make cute smalls, like in a dish. And I have a possible dish that would work in. And then this one, Liberty for All Summer House Stitch Works. And they had these smalls in the annex of, although I picked it up at the store itself, the store proper, instead of the annex. This one I've had on my wish list since Galleria 2019. I just pulled the trigger. Mr. and Mrs. Delicious. They had the models there, and they were so cute. And a lot of us have mentioned to stitch more Thanksgiving-ish, and I agree. I've felt like I need to do that for a while. Hands-on Design, Liberté, or Liberty. Language of Liberty is the official pattern name. They had the sample there, and I saw a friend stitching this in person. Oh no, they didn't have the sample there. They had she has several that are this shape, and they had one of them there. I saw a friend stitching on this in person, and it was beautiful. Of course, her stitching is always beautiful. And then Kathy showed it via Zoom on our retreat at the beginning of May. And patriotic, Marine Mom. Need I say more? Luminous Fiber Arts, Liberty Quaker. The picture didn't do it this justice, but when I seen the model there, the background actually is a brighter blue than shows in this picture. But again, if they focus their resources on the pictures, they wouldn't focus their resources on the designs, and you and I would pay more for our toys. So this works. And he's cute. And at our table, 5 or 6 of us purchased that. Then they had the collaboration between the Blue Flower and Lindy stitches. And here's what it looks like with all 9 pieces stitched as one. They showed this, and they had the smalls individual too. I think this is how I want to do it. So, blue flower, blue flower, blue flower, and blue flower. So, Lindy, 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 Lindy. So 5 of them are Lindy and 4 of them are blue flower. So I picked up those. They were very popular. And that actually is how I met Colette, the highway stitcher. She had one of the parts and she wanted the other part. And so I said, I didn't even really realize who she was at first. And then I said, oh, I know where that is. I'll go grab it. Because she was getting checked out. And when I grabbed it and I brought it back to her, she goes, oh, hi, Diane. And I said, oh, hi, Colette. And then we had a really nice conversation. We had a couple of nice conversations after that. Coffee first, then the worm, Luminous Fiber Arts. I don't drink coffee, so I'm probably going to change it to tea. But they had this model there, and the colors were amazing. And it calls for overdyes, but she also gives you DMC alternatives. But it was just beautiful. And I think it was on Whisper Linen. It was kind of a blue-gray color, and it's beautiful. I'll talk about that one last. On the freebie table, they have You Are My Sunshine by Cottage Garden Samplings. That I got for my youngest daughter to stitch, and my friend was passing this on, Midsummer Night Fairy. Yes, this is a photocopy of the cover, but I have the original pattern. It was from her mom. Her mom had stitched it, and it's in perfect condition, and I've wanted to stitch this one for a while. So I have that to add to my collection. This was in the freebie table, Hello Fall, Plum Street Samplers. And this one, Praiseworthy Stitches, Sarah's Crows. I've never seen this one before, but I thought it was really cute. It's charted for sampler threads or DMC. And this one, Imaginating. Let's Sew. Yeah, that kind of is me. Although I don't think I would do it in blue, but I don't know what color I'd do it in. And this one I saw at Keepsakes. It was a model on the wall. So if you are at Keepsakes and you're going downstairs and you look, right there at the bottom is this piece, Paradise Lost. Plum Street Samplers. What caught my eye, and then I asked about it, is this was stitched on a coffee tea dyed fabric, and it looked just absolutely amazing. Apparently the stitcher was a longtime customer of Barb's who passed away. She hadn't finished it, so it was given to Barb, and Barb finished it. And to be honest, looking at the stitching, you couldn't tell whose was whose. And it was beautifully done, and the person who started stitching it, it's charted for NPIs or a DMC. Well, she did hers all in cottons, but she changed a number of the DMCs to overdyes. And Lindy, if you've not met Lindy, you need to meet Lindy. She is so sweet. She she made a photocopy of the original stitcher's notes on what color she used for what. And then Barbara, she also talked to me about this pattern and how it had special meaning to the shop. This originally charted, it doesn't have the whole verse that's listed on the back, so Barb recharted it to have the whole verse. And then there's this little snippet over here about you shall not surely die. She changed that to the reference, and I liked that. So that's how I'm going to stitch mine. So no, I don't have any fabric for this, and it's not exactly a small piece, but then again, I don't tend to be drawn to small pieces in general. But that's my haul, unless I forgot something, but I don't think I did. And then we went to Grader's the last night there. They make a really good raspberry sorbet, excuse me. And my friend said that the ice cream was really good. I can't handle ice cream. My stomach doesn't do well with ice cream. I've known that for a long time. But the raspberry sorbet was really good. And so I picked up the chocolate for my husband and I have had 2 pieces. Excuse me, 2 pieces is what I've had. I also picked up a bear for Mini Dot because he likes bears. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take a drink here. I've been talking too much. Last week into this week. So that is my haul and my stitching. I'm going to continue with Land That I Love and Morison. And I'm going to start that one piece on my birthday. You're welcome to join me. I haven't figured out beyond that point what I want to do for my 50th stitching wise. I'll let you know. I'm still focused on quilting this week and next week. And in July, jump into planning for homeschool. And my daughter's quilt, I have the rose done. But I got to the point my husband said, I think you need to walk away. Because just one thing after another was going on. But hopefully next video, that will be the backdrop. Will be her quilt fully pieced. And my plan on that is to walk through that quilt in a separate video, because I know several of you have said you're going to purchase that pattern and sew it yourself. And I want to kind of walk through things that I've learned and advice I would give. And you can take it or leave it if you want to watch that video or not, and if you want to take the advice or not. But yeah, that's what's going on here. My husband and son will be doing some gun safety training this week so they can become gun safety training instructors. It'll be a chance for them to bond. My daughter, she's doing very well. She had a minor hiccup, but it's all gone, done. She moved a couple weekends ago, and she likes her new place, and she's doing well at her job. My Marine needs to call his mom. He will call. My husband talked to him on Mother's Day. Did I talk to him on Mother's Day? And I think, to be honest, I think he's not calling me because I think it would make him too homesick. Because we haven't seen him in a while, but he's busy getting a lot of trainings in. And I do miss him, though. I miss all my kids when they're not here. But things are going well here. We're staying healthy. The cottonwoods are pollinating, and that is what I am most allergic to. And I forgot to refill my allergy medicine, so I gotta get my stuff in gear and get that done. But feel free to subscribe if you've not subscribed. Just hit like, comment below. My email, my Instagram is below. I'm going to link as many of these items as I possibly can. If I forget something, just gently remind me and I'll add it in. And I look forward to doing a video before my birthday, but I will talk to you all later. Love to you all. Enjoy your stitching. Bye.